So how I use this, how does this come up in a conversation? Everybody's standing there go, okay, so how do I use it? Do I just start using this at a cocktail party and start with, well, what I can do for you, right? Here's typically how it goes, for me at least anyway. If I get a signed call or somebody's a realtor.ca call for a specific address, right? I book the appointment, right? I want to get you there. So Sandra, if you wouldn't mind role playing me, be my buyer at this point in time, that'd be great, right?
Absolutely.
So ring, ring, Ron James, real estate and mortgage and delicatessen. How can I help you?
Hi, I see you have a house listed on 123 Annie Street. I'd like to see it.
Awesome. Is my sign out the front of it right now?
It sure is.
Awesome. Well, that's great because that's a hot, fresh new listing right off and I'm happy to see my sign there because it wasn't even supposed to go up until tomorrow. So are you standing in front of the property?
I am, yes.
Oh, fantastic. So you would like to see it?
I would.
Great. When can you be available to see it?
I'm here right now. So can you show it to me right now?
Well, I'd love to do that, but I really can't. Now, I'll double check on this. Who am I speaking with?
Sandra.
Sandra, nice to meet you. I'm Ron. So let me find out if it's still available. Yes, it is my listing, but I work with a team of people. Somebody might have already had an offer on it. Would you be available at 4 o'clock today?
I would be, yes.
Awesome. Let's book for 4 o'clock. Can I text you at this number?
Yes, you can. That would be great.
Can I take down an email address and I'll send you the copy of the listing so you have the details before we meet?
Sure.
Great. Who am I speaking to? So it's Sandra at
KathleenSpeaks.com.
Awesome. Fantastic. So please check your email and your phone because I'm going to confirm at this number that we're good to go for 4 o'clock. Look forward to seeing you then. Yay, time lapse. It's 4 o'clock. Sandra meets me. I open the door. I walk her in. I say silly things like, oh, this is the kitchen where the fridge and stove are. And this is where the living room is, where the couch is. I know you're putting all this together. Excellent. Now we're locking it up and I'm walking out the door. Hey, folks. I'm just locking up this lockbox. I'm going to get asked all kinds of questions for feedback. On a scale of 1 to 10, Sandra, what would you give the house?
A 5.
5. Oh, awesome. How are you and your significant other looking for houses by yourself now?
We're on realtor.ca.
Awesome. Okay, well, what I can do for you, Sandra, is send you daily emails of all of the properties that match what you're looking for. What you're going to get from me will include the price, the photos, the address, everything just like I get as a realtor. You'll also get new listings and those with a price change the instant it becomes available. Oh, and our clients, those clients with Ron James, at this point also get the benefit of power sales, estate sales, and other great deals not found on realtor.ca. Would you be interested in that information as well?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, what we'll need to do is to get together for 10 to 15 minutes to take down your wish, wants, and needs. What works best for you, days, evenings, or weekends?
Weekends.
Awesome. Do you have a preferred day, Sandra, Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday.
Awesome. Are you early risers and want a morning appointment, something in the afternoon, or even possibly in the evening?
Late morning.
Awesome. Okay. So, Sandra, would you like me to come to your home? You can come to my office, or we can actually do this virtually online through Zoom.
Virtual would be great.
Oh, awesome. Sandra, will all of the decision makers be joining us for that call?
Yep, I'll make sure my husband's there.
Awesome. And your husband's first name?
Adam.
Adam. Okay. So, Sandra, what I have here is in the afternoon. Would we say, we did say the morning, right? Or was it the afternoon?
Late morning.
Late morning. 11 o'clock work for you guys?
Perfect.
Awesome. 11 o'clock, Saturday on Zoom. I'm going to send you a link. I'm assuming you can still reach things from Sandra at KathleenSpeaks.com.
Yep.
Awesome. So the invite will be there, and I'll see you and Adam Saturday morning. Ta-da! Great. Time lapse. Brrr, what happens Saturday morning at 11 o'clock? Hey, Sandra, how are you? So let me kind of get rid of this for a second. Flip my switch here, go into my sales hat role, open my virtual office. Here we go. Okay, BHG, here we go. This one. Ta-da! Here we go. Sandra, Adam, so happy to see you. Thank you for taking a few minutes to kind of allow me to understand the wish, wants, and needs of your home. So before I get started, guys, why am I here? What are you hoping to do?
Find a
Sandra.
home.
Find a home. Excellent. Have you, either of you, have ever purchased a home before?
Yes, the house that we're living in right now.
Awesome. Okay. So just a quick question. Were you hoping to buy first or get a sign on the lawn?
Buy first, because it's a crazy market.
100%. I agree. Good call, by the way. Okay. So in your last experience of purchasing, Sandra, what did you personally like about the experience?
I guess that I got the house.
Oh, good. How long ago was it that you purchased?
16 years ago.
Wow. You guys are long-termers. Usually the average person in a house is like 3 to 5 years. 16 years, you win.
We're slow to move.
Aha, perfect. That's good to know. So, so you got the house. That's what you liked about the process. Did you do a lot of preliminary research in advance? How long did it take you to find that house?
It took us a while. We had to see a lot of homes.
Okay.
Yep.
How many homes? Do you remember?
I'm sure so long ago, but it was a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Was it just because of a lack of inventory, or were you just not really sure what you were looking for at that time?
I guess we were really, really picky. So then when we found this one, we knew this was what we wanted.
Awesome. Okay. So I'm taking it that you and Adam bought this house. So, if Adam was, ghostly here with us at this point, what would you think he would say about his most enjoyable part about the experience of home buying?
Finally being done. He hated
that it was over. So he hated it. Now, Sandra, how did you guys work? Were you the shepherd? Did you go out there and look at the houses by yourself? And then when you found something that you thought was interesting to Adam, that you would bring him in?
Oh, no, he wouldn't trust me. He was there every step of the way.
Ah, they're looking for the man cave. That's what he was doing.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, Sandra, who else is participating with you guys in helping you make the decision? Is there a coach, somebody who's a confidant that's really helping you guys make this decision?
No, just him and I.
Okay. So there's nobody at church that recently bought a house that's telling you all about the kind of wild, wild west of the real estate agent, world today?
No, we keep our cards close to us.
Awesome. Okay. Have you seen areas where you want to live, neighborhoods, etc.?
We'd like to stay in Whitby where we are.
Okay. So in Whitby where you are, is there neighborhoods that you are gleaning more towards for whatever purposes, maybe perhaps schools, churches?
The school district would be good.
Okay. So specifically, does it have to be public school, Catholic school? What's the catchment you're trying to stay within?
Rolling Acres.
Okay, so rolling acres. Is there a secondary, even possibly a third option? If we can't get rolling acres, what's next? What's next after that?
Yeah, we can go to Canadian Oaks or Taunton North.
Okay, so it's important. And one of the reasons we're having the conversation is the market, as you can appreciate right now, is quite vibrant. There's times where, not at our own fault, but the market just prices us out of that market. We could be into Rolling Hill or Rolling Acres at this point with our budget, and the last sale was our top dollar. So the next sale might take us out. So the only reason that I'm looking for other alternatives is in the event that Rolling Acres just doesn't give us what we're looking for, or we can't spend the way we want to, right? What's our alternatives? So the second part is, have you defined how you would like to live? What kind of house would you like?
4 bedrooms.
4 bedrooms. Do they all have to be on the same level?
No.
Okay. Can you look at some kind of multi-split or back split type property?
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. I'm taking it there's kids involved. How many kids are involved?
3.
3 kids. Awesome. And they're all teenagers, young kids?
Older teenager and younger teenagers.
Okay, so we're putting all of them in the basement and you and Adam upstairs. So we
That'd
need
be wonderful, actually.
1 plus 3. Excellent.
Or
I
3
think we
plus
can do
1.
that.
Far away.
Yes. 3 plus 1. That's right. You need the parent oasis.
Yeah.
At this point. Well, no, that's awesome. The price range that you were hoping for, Sandra?
$1.5 million.
Cool. And in your opinion, does that buy you the house that you're looking for?
We think so.
Okay. Have you watched sales? Do you have information from, say, realtor.ca right? That kind of gives you a range that says, yeah, we should be able to buy well in what we're looking for in this neighborhood.
Well, I've been seeing list prices, but I know list prices and purchase prices are definitely very far apart. So what they end up selling for, I think we know sometimes, but at other times we're in the dark.
Yeah, that's good. I appreciate that. So time frame on this, Sandra? When is, if I had a magic wand, I got my magic pen right here, right? When are we going to have you guys into your new home?
Would be great at the end of the school year.
Okay, so we're looking for something that closes June, maybe even, would it go July? Would you
Possibly,
go into the
because
summer?
if it had a pool, that would be great.
Okay, so a pool is on the thumbs up list.
Mm-hmm.
Would you put one in if you had to?
Yeah, I guess we could. So I guess a lot
Okay.
is big enough for that.
Okay, a pool or a pool-sized lot.
That's a lot. Yeah.
So, yeah, and I appreciate you sharing that with me because I've seen properties that have pool-sized lots that you can't build a pool on. There's some kind of easement underground, etc. So when we do see something that we think might be a pool-sized lot, I'm going to do a little extra research at this point in time just to make sure that there's no easements that prohibit us from digging.
Awesome.
Yeah, great. So Sandra, have you worked with realtors before? So the person who sold you this house, how come you didn't go back and use their services?
Because I found they weren't very helpful. We always had to go to them with the house. I felt like we were doing the work.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I think I can cover that. So, all right. So what I want to do with you and Adam, it's been 16 years since you've purchased a home. And I will tell you, there's a change in real estate, some kind of ebb and flow, some kind of government intervention at this point, about once every 30 days. So as you can appreciate, 12 different updates for the last 16 years per year at this point. Would you mind if I walk through kind of the home buying plan that I offer clients just to make sure that they understand there's a beginning, middle, and an end of the process?
That'd be awesome.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Well, let me just kind of open some notes here.
Isn't it as easy as just you find a house and you buy a house?
Yes, yes, it is. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Well, Sandra, you tell me, could you have bought the first house that you were shown 16 years ago?
No, because it took us a while.
Right. And what was your takeaway related to that? What did you find yourself doing as every time you went to a house, it seems like you disqualified it, right? How did you start to know that you were getting closer?
I guess the rooms needed to be big enough. So we disqualified if they weren't. Open concept. We didn't want to have to do any major renovation. So if it needed that, we disqualify that as well.
Okay. So I take it now, 16 years later, that's definitely the case. How long are the kids going to be home before you guys are empty nesters?
I'd like to get rid of them tomorrow, but
Okay,
possibly
well,
10 years.
10 years. Okay, so we still have family home in front of us for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's terrific. What I want to do is, again, as I just mentioned, kind of walk you through our process. I'm going to take a few minutes, 10 minutes to walk through the 10 simple steps of the home buying plan that I'm going to map out for you. We'll cover more of these particular topics in the presentation.
Okay.
So what do you want in your next home? Thank you so much, you and Adam, for being so candid with me and sharing the highlights of the home search that you're looking for and some of the reasons why you're doing what you're doing and the cautions and concerns that you have about the process. So the next step would be finding a quality real estate agent to represent you. Sandra, did you know that there were 2 agents involved in most real estate transactions?
What do you mean?
Okay, so about 98.4% of the people buying houses today will use a real estate agent. And there's usually 2 agents involved in the process. The seller's agent, that's the name that you see on the listed sign out the front. And then there's the option of you as the buyer having the ability to hire your own buyer's representation to represent you. I wanted to just share looking at the similarities and differences between both the seller's agent and buyer's agent for you to make a decision. Okay. So the listing agent or the seller's agent, as we call them, right, they can do the bare minimum that you see right here. They can introduce you to the property, they can share some information about it, and they can even actually write up an offer for your home. However, please understand who their boss is. It is the seller. So a buyer's representative, what could they do? So about 10 years ago, it was established that buyers have the opportunity to have their own representation and counsel as well. Prior to that, both real estate agents, the seller's agent and the buyer's agent, worked for the seller and were paid by them at this point. Most buyers ended up in a lawsuit situation because they felt they should have had equal representation, and they didn't. So what does a buyer's agent do? By providing confidential assistance, your buyer's agent will never disclose the reason you're buying or what you're willing to pay for the property. That is the seller's mandate. Seller's agent's mandate, if you actually told them what you're prepared to qualify for or pay for the home, they immediately have to share it with their client, the seller. The home inspection clause is a little bit of a tricky one. Most buyer's agents at this point in time want to protect you and introduce you to having the option of having somebody walk through qualified that can give you an opinion of the home structure and integrity at this point. Seller's agent isn't likely to show you kind of where the warts and defects are. By giving you expert advice on what to offer for a home and include in that, it's not only kind of price, terms and conditions and closing dates, it's also the inclusions and whether this home is the one for us anyway. Maybe there's just defect enough that we should walk away. Discover and disclose information about the property, even reasons not to buy, as I've just said, right? Buyer's agent, if we know anything about the property or the area or what's happening in that region at this point, our information is your information. So it does make sense to have somebody represent your interest in this transaction. I mean, Sandra, we just talked about you're investing millions of dollars in real estate. You should really have a choice of who represents you and protects you through that purchase. Okay, so how are we a little bit different here at the Ron James team? Well, a little bit of a look behind the scenes. One of the things that you'll see is our formula for success. And it isn't what you see with realtors who use a quick sell method. This is one that you might have seen in the past when you were looking for your home last time, right? Agents that would show you the good one, the bad one, and the one you're going to buy. If you can't buy in 3 to 5 houses, they just cut you loose. They're really hoping to make sure that in this particular sense that you can see something quick, make a decision, and move. And what you've just shared with me is that you guys do your homework and you do your research, and there's no way I'm going to be pushing you into a deal in the first 3 to 5 houses we see. As a matter of fact,
it might take us a bit.
Yeah, I'm only hoping that the first 3 to 5 that we see shortly at this point are only for me to show you what's happening in the home buying process today. There has been some changes, especially as we look at houses together in the last 16 years. And I'm hoping to kind of teach you what I know about the construction in the business. So what is our next step with this is being an educated buyer. Sandra, truthfully, at this point in this market, it's so robust that our best hedge against a seller's market is to become an educated buyer. And what are the steps for that? As you can see on my slide here, making sure you don't overpay for a home. This really means and depends on us understanding the market. You've already been doing some research, as you've said, so you have a pretty good idea of listed prices, as you've mentioned, but we're not really sure what the end result is. Are people paying more than list? And if so, what percentages? And is there any predictability in that? Right? Not having to settle for what's available. Sandra, I have access to about an extra 25% of the marketplace that you can't see. Realtor.ca is fantastic, except it's only 75% of the stuff that's available for you to look at. I can show you on different platforms, places that I find inventory that you can't find on your own. Right away, you've found a good deal. If I've shown you how to buy, if I've shown you how to read the market, you're going to walk in much more educated buyer. At this point, it makes you make better decisions, right? Putting ourselves in a stronger negotiation position. So let's get the home you want. Let's find one.
All right.
Okay. So I need to ask, have you already been pre-approved? Sandra, you know what the drill is. You and Adam bought 16 years ago. Yep. How's the pre-approval looking now?
We all have that figured out. I really like my mortgage broker. I use her all the time, and she's wonderful.
Let me guess, that's Andrea.
It is.
Sidebar.
You know her.
Yeah, I do. Okay. But if you hadn't done that, let me kind of show you just to clarify what Andrea does during the day at this point, as you appreciate, because you went out and understood that you did need to get pre-approved. Here's why you do, right? It's saving you hours of time. Sandra, we're going to be asked at this point in time to consider going into an offer presentation without the benefit of a financing condition. Are you comfortable with that?
I am, because I know you have to do that. And even you mentioned home inspection, but we can't even really go in with that, can we?
That's correct. It is a situation where I want you to be aware of the options. It doesn't mean we can't protect you in that offer situation. It just means that we need to have a discussion about what's included for the offer for the best negotiation position for us.
Okay.
So I always want you to know that I'm not going to talk you out of a condition that protects you, but we will have a discussion on whether we use it in our offer.
Okay.
Less stress of the process. Once we're pre-approved for financing, as you've just boldly said, hey, I've got my money and I'm happy with the person that's providing it at this point. And I happen to know Andrea at this point. And if I didn't, I would have probably done some research just to make sure that she's looking after your best interest the way I am. And getting you a deal on the home that you want. Going into an offer negotiation with a firm position at this point, no financing condition does give us leverage in the marketplace. Right? You've already walked through this with Andrea, but just for those that might not have, I don't know if everybody in your household has ever seen this process. Pretty simple. We can phone Andrea. You probably did it over the phone or Zoom. She asked you to submit some documentation, which you provided. She's vetted the documentation and has now given you the pre-approval that we need for you to go out and look at real estate comfortably and know that you're buying within your price band and not above it, and not to the point where you're buying something that you can't afford.
Mm-hmm.
Exclusive market data. Well, let's see. What does that look like for us? So this is what I was talking about with having access to 25% of the market more than you do. There is a number of different associations that I'm part of where we have exclusive listings only amongst real estate agents. It means that you need the secret agent decoder ring to get what I have. But my clients get that through me. You've been familiar with this form. I'm pretty sure you and Adam, live on the computer now, and this is what your model looks like that you see. However, what you're also looking at is data that could be up to 2 weeks old. So there could be properties in here that you're flagging, highlighting, et cetera, even possibly sending to me, right, that have already been sold or there's an offer on them already.
Yep.
So what I want to make sure is absolutely have a look at your search at this point in time. But I do want you to be aware of the fact that send me the information that you have. Not everything that you see is available. Not everything that you see is going to end up at its list price.
Yep.
You're comfortable with that?
Yeah, I know.
Excellent. Okay, so on the flip side, as a realtor, this is what I see. So I see a number of properties that might have come to market. They might have expired. They might have terminated. They might have canceled. There might be reasons why these properties have been suspended at this point. Once they go offline, Sandra, you can no longer see them. I can, you can't. I do have rapport with a number of the agents in my region and area at this point. So if it's somebody that I know or I can inquire, right, maybe there was just a temporary time to take it down. Maybe they were on an extended holiday. This listing may still be for sale, and I'll find out whether it is or it isn't. Okay, so why do you need this up-to-date database? Well, choice. Sandra, I'm sure as you're looking through the MLS at this point, what you're recognizing is the fact that it looks like the inventory isn't that much for what you're looking for. My job is to not only kind of see what's available, as does everybody else, but also to find you market properties that aren't on the market. Maybe just that you can buy direct with the seller at this point. We need to be able to find today's best deal in the marketplace. It means my job's cut out for me. I have work to do. I have research to do on your and Adam's behalf to find that property that you can consider. Becoming an educated buyer, you're realizing right now that if you go in confidently with the information that you have, now knowing what the market pricing is looking like, because I'm going to teach you how to read the market, I'm also going to teach you how to buy a house, looking at all of the different features and factors that we need to consider while putting in an offer. The better way. So when your profile gets loaded into our computer, our team gets what you're looking for, your and Adam's wish list, if you will. So you don't just get me knowing that you're looking for a home, you get my entire team. You also go into the full realtor database at this point. So we have the benefit of reverse prospecting. It means that the computer is looking for property for you as well. And then, of course, it is shared across our entire team of agents here in the brokerage, right? Then by email, you will get all up-to-date new listings, properly vetted by us, that meet the criteria that you're looking for, including different files that might not necessarily be on realtor.ca. Our team of agents is also constantly in the marketplace, reviewing new properties, new projects, also seeing signs that are sometimes listed from other boards that aren't on our board. So you may or may not see them in the neighborhood. You are provided with all of the details to make a buying decision, and we encourage you to kind of take a drive by through those neighborhoods at this point to see with what the information we've sent you, is it of interest? Is it in a neighborhood that you like? Market education, Sandra, truly, this is my favorite part of the process. We talked about looking at those first 3 to 5 houses. Mine is strictly for us to have an awareness visit, right? It's looking at real estate through the eyes of a realtor. I want to show you what I've learned in 40 years of real estate on how to buy real estate, looking at the property, looking at the building, looking at the structure, looking at the lot, looking at all of the various different factors in the neighborhood. You hop up and look at the flowers in the front. I hop out and I look at the curling shingles on the roof. I want to show you that.
Awesome.
Making an educated offer. This is where all of that homework comes into one point. When we've actually narrowed down the process, if you remember back 16 years ago when you said, this is the one, we will sit down and draft the offer that best protects you and Adam. I want to make sure that you're aware of what the standard clauses are that protect you in the home purchase process. One of the reasons why is that my responsibility as your realtor comes to a close at the end when you buy this house. When you take possession, I have little to no recourse to help you or assist you. So my job is done in the beginning in that offer stage. That's one of the reasons why I want you to be aware of the clauses that do protect you, and we will cover them, and then we can decide whether we include them or we take them out. So during the offer process, right, I will do a background search. This is also one of the reasons when we talked about a pool, right? Let's find out about the pool, for example, right? When was the last time it was closed? Was it closed professionally? Is that company local? Is it a storefront location or some guy in a van at this point? Or does the lot that we're looking for, is it capable of us putting a pool in? And has there been any easements or hydro easements or bell easements that would prevent us from digging? I do that research before we go ahead and make the offer on the home. The home prepares you and protects you. As we talked about the clauses that are available to us, do we need a financing clause? Are we comfortable? Does Andrea have some information? And did we even possibly kind of have a conversation with her about the decision as we're going through to say, hey, we could end up at these price points. Are you still comfortable with our pre-approval? Explaining the details of the offer and walking you through each of how we've assembled it. This is all strategic at this point because we might be in a multiple offer situation. A well-written offer does kind of get looked at a little bit differently because not every one of those offers is. Present and negotiate the offer on your home and getting you that particular home. That's my objective at this point. We do try very hard to build rapport with the listing agent or the seller's agent at this point, one on a bit of a fact-finding mission, but also to position our offer. We came to buy. So when we're ready, Sandra, I want to make sure that they understand we have a copy of a deposit check, a photo of our draft that we could pull up at any time. We also have a solid offer, well written, well represented, and we're keen. So if there's an opportunity for us to position ourselves ahead of our competition, you, myself, Adam, we'll be working on that. Buying your first home, we've covered all of these steps so far, all the way down to step number 7, which is the home inspection side. This is assuming we've had our offer accepted and we may be in a conditional period. In the event that we do have the opportunity to have a home inspection, then I will definitely recommend a name if you don't have somebody that you know, love, and trust. And I will also attend the home inspection with the inspector and with you and Adam. I want to make sure that you're comfortable with the home that you've purchased. Selecting a lawyer, if you don't already have one that you know, love, and trust, We want to recommend lawyers that have been representing our clients to a high degree. We're very comfortable. Our clients are satisfied with their services and they do the job, right? This is the person that's going to close up the transaction, make sure that all of the money's transferred and the keys end up in your hand. Perform the final viewing. This is where we get a chance just before closing, anywhere from 48 hours to 24 hours, right, to walk through the house. Sandra, when you and Adam bought the house 16 years ago, did you do a final walkthrough?
No, our agent didn't even tell us about that.
Wow. I apologize on behalf of our industry. A lot of what I've been sharing with you is really standard fare. We're not the fanciest, but we are ethical as a company, and we do follow what best serves our client. So as a benefit, the benefits of being an educated buyer, as you can see right here, you get the most up-to-date listings, all of the information that's available, not only on realtor.ca, but on those other platforms that I mentioned as well. You get access to the financing rates. As we know, we have Andrea at the Hill, and I'm very happy that she's on our team at this point because I send a lot of business her way as well.
Awesome.
You get to pick the homes that you're going to look at. So from our education side, I wanted to basically say, are you familiar with these neighborhoods? Do you know the styles, the prices, etc.? And once you are, then you're in the driver's seat. You and Adam are going to find that perfect house, and I'm going to get it for you. We'll negotiate the best possible deal for you. This isn't just price, Sandra, Adam. This is terms, conditions, closings. I mean, we're looking for things at the end of school. That's a long closing date. We have an extended closing date. We may have nervous sellers that want to kind of do something short term, 30, 60, 90 days closing at this point. So my job is to make sure that we can kind of accommodate your needs and wishes. And then, of course, all of these services that are available to you, right? I can tell you, did you remember what you paid for real estate services last time, Sandra? What did you pay your realtor?
Nothing, because we were the buyer.
Oh, there you go. That hasn't changed. It's still the same. You pay nothing. You're the buyer. Thank you for knowing that. So what's our next step, Sandra? I want to introduce you to this particular form. Have you ever seen the buyer representation agreement before? Did your last agent show you this?
Possibly, but we signed so much, so I'm not really sure. But I've heard about this. If I sign it, then I have to use you, right?
Yes, absolutely. That's how it works. But Sandra, I promise at this point in time, I would never want you guys to do something you didn't want to do. Truly, what you're seeing is what this document does. You're investing now, as you've just spoken, $1.5 million. I believe you should have the choice of representation, right? You can use the seller's agent at this point. They can carry forward the offer. Heck, they'll probably even offer you a discount on commission. And the only reason they're doing that is because they're making sure you're overpaying for the house. They want to make sure they get the top dollar for their seller, not for you. They want to get the best terms and conditions for their seller, not for you. So in having your own representation at this point in time, this document, what it prepares us to do is this: the loyalty. Sandra, you and Adam are only clients in this process. I don't work with the sellers or the seller's agents, right? You are my client. Confidentiality. They don't need to know what you're paying for a property, what you qualify to pay for a property, why you're buying it, how you're buying it, etc. It's none of their business. That's between you and I. Full disclosure, if this property is not the right property, right, I want you to be aware of what I see are possible things that are nightmarish. When you close this property and all of a sudden there's a problem in the basement or in the way that the grading is of this lot, right? I want to make sure that we've done that homework in advance. I wouldn't necessarily be that keen on doing it if I was working for the seller. From the protection side, we've talked about you understanding what your rights are and the clauses that we can assemble into an offer at this point, that you should have the right to say yes, no. Again, this is protecting you. You're investing a lot of money, Sandra. You need to make sure that people are protecting and counseling you. Education, we walk through the market education. It's not just enough that I show you houses that you like. I want to show you the process so you know how and why you bought that property. What's happening in the market? Can you read the market now? Yes, you can. By the time we're actually in an offer situation, you will know, right, what the market bears for a property in that age range, that neighborhood, etc. You'll also know the difference between a good deal and a not so good deal. Priority service, as I've mentioned, it's you and Adam. You are ahead of everybody in the transaction, at least for me. And patience, this is the real important part, Sandra. You can go buy any house. but you don't want any house. You want the right house. With patience, my situation is with this agreement at this point, I'm not in a hurry. We're going to buy when it's right, not when I say. And lastly, as you've just said, there's no cost to this. Now, I'm going to send this over for you and Adam to have a look at. And what I want to show you is that this particular document, they call this the plain language form at this point, and I include it. And the reason why is it has a lot of legalese and mice type, et cetera, that you see in black. What they've done in red, and they is our association, they've interpreted this in English. So you have a clearer understanding of what you're actually signing. So I'll send this to you if you and Adam would agree to have a read through it and send it back, and let's have a conversation about anything in here that we could move forward with or that is of concern. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Awesome. So I'm going to send this over at this point, and then what I'd like to do you and Adam have a time where you can come out and look at 3 to 5 houses with me?
Yeah. How's Monday? Is your schedule open Monday?
It is now, because you're going to be available, Sandra. What works best for you and Adam?
The kids are at school, so during the day?
Excellent. Okay. Do you want me to pick you up, or do you want me to meet you at the first house?
We'll meet you at the first house.
Done. I will send our listings at this point to you. I'm going to pick the first 5 if you don't mind.
Okay.
At this point. And then thereafter, what I'd like to do is to have maybe 5 of yours.
Okay.
At this point, again, please understand, we're coming out here to learn how to buy. So you can go leave your checkbook at home.
Awesome.
Okay. We'll see you then. Thanks so
Thanks.
much. You
Thank
guys have
you.
been great.